And then people are like, well, why can't they just find their own man? Well, for one, she has a right to be married to whoever she is married to. So if this man happens to be married, but he says, you know what, I'm going to marry you as well, she has that right. Assalamu alaikum, peace. It's your coach, Coach Nyla, one of the co-founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, as well as co-author of the book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored. And on this channel, we actually help you or help those have outstanding relationships, whether it's in monogamy or polygyny. But we focus a lot on polygyny because it doesn't get its fair airplay. If that is something that you are interested in and want more information about, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video and share, because sharing is caring. So in this video, we're going to have pretty much kind of a candid conversation, if you will, and may not be, it's going to be controversial because not a lot of people are going to like what I have to say, I'm pretty sure. Just because, well, I guess I could say the vocal minority, or it could be the vocal majority on social media. I don't know. May not like what I have to say, but it needs to be said when it comes to polygyny, because polygyny is a form of marriage. We talk about that a lot on this channel and in our videos and in our trainings because it doesn't get its fair airplay. It's a form of marriage. It's a moral form of marriage. But because it's so taboo, a lot of issues come up from it, because people will look at it as that if a man marries more than one woman, then he doesn't love the first one that he married, or that he has some issues, or he's only doing it for his lustful desires and all this other crazy stuff. And then you have the wives on the other end, where the first wife is either crazy for staying with him, or the any other person that's marrying or trying to marry someone or looking to marry someone who is married already, that she has low self-esteem, she's crazy, she's trying to break up something, all these different negative tones and negative connotations, when being married is a privilege and being married is a right. It doesn't mean that you have to be married, but it's a right. And when it comes to Islam, a Muslim woman has the right to marry a married Muslim man. I know people don't like that. People don't usually hear it like that, and they don't want to hear it like that. But it's true. Regardless of how we feel about certain things, and regardless how we feel about the truth is going to always be the truth, regardless of what we feel about it. And I know there are going to be some people, maybe not, but people have done it before and said, well, Coach Nyla, well, what if Coach Nazir decided to marry again? How would you feel? Because apparently you don't understand. You don't know. You don't know what that feels like for your husband to marry somebody else and want to do this and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, I know a number of things. I know a lot of things that people don't think I know. However, I thought about that. And my thing is, because I understand that polygyny is a moral form of marriage, because I understand that men are polygynous by nature, because I understand that there are women out there who deserve to be married, deserve good men, and that if I'm married to a good man, which I am, you know, I say it, my co-wife says it, we both agree. We are married to a good man, a wonderful man. And if it so happened that he marries again to a person who's deserving of a good man, which there are many women out here that are, then so be it. Seriously, like really, so be it. Now, will I be jealous? Will I not be jealous? Will I, do I act like everything's going to be all sunshine and rainbows and kittens and unicorns? No, I'm not. Why? Because challenges and changes and other things happen. Life happens. So there may be sometimes that me and my co-wife may not get along for some whatever reason. Maybe we're not feeling well. Maybe we're not even feeling each other because we don't, we have our own things going on, or we mistake something. We mistook something for whatever the case may be. That does not give me any right to say that she is not deserving of our husband. Like, I can't sit there and say, yeah, she's been here first, so it is what it is. But I can't say, well, I'm here now, so you shouldn't have him anymore. I can't, same way I can't say, well, I'm here and she's here and he can't marry anybody else because I'm okay with just it being the two of us and who cares about anybody else. He can marry up to 4. It's allowed, regardless of whatever anybody want to feel about it. And it's for those who understand, it's for those who want to understand, for those who have issue with it, a problem with it and everything like that, so be it. But you know what? That's not your problem. You can keep it pushing. Not to be, mean or negative or anything like that. As I stated before, this is going to be candid and I'm going to just tell the truth. And sometimes, the truth may piss people off. It is what it is. Yeah. So the thing is that women have, especially women in Islam, have a right. They don't have to marry a married man, but they do have the right to marry a married man. If he's not married to 4 women already, then he's married but available. That's what I call it. He's married but available. And like I said, we may not agree with it or don't like it or whatever. Now, I don't have a problem with it. Like, seriously, I don't. My thing is people are going to be people, and it's about the people involved. So, and that goes for me as well. If I'm not in my personal development, if I am not being caring about myself, if I am so busy with my mind on someone else's marriage, then of course, I'm not going to be productive. I'm not going to be productive in my marriage, and I'm not going to be productive in my family. Just not. See, I like to hold people accountable, including myself. I'm not popular because of that. It's fine. I understand that. It doesn't bother me none. It used to. It used to, because I'm like, I'm telling the truth. I want to help people. I want to hold people accountable. I want them to be able to hold themselves accountable. I want them to be better, stretch themselves, understand. And I realized that I shouldn't sign up for that class because I can't make anybody do anything. I can't make people like me. I can't make people understand what I'm saying. I can't make people get my side of the story. I can only tell the truth. I can only tell what I've experienced. I can only tell what I've taught others. I can do those things. And whoever gets it, they get it. And whoever don't, that's just what it is. And I learned to be okay with that. But there was once a time when I was going to stop what I was doing. I was thinking about stopping what I was doing, meaning explaining the other side of polygyny to people, meaning the incoming wives, like what they feel, what they experience, what, their rights are as well, that they're not just people that are the destitute and the poor. And it's like, oh, poor baby, let me just, take you in, woo, 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 type of thing. And they're also not the massive home wreckers that people make them out to be. Now, like I stated before, people are people. And there are some mean people, some evil people, some dirty people, some shady, shisty people out there. And they can come in the form of subsequent wives too. I don't know them all. So I can't say all wives are a specific way or all subsequent wives are a specific way. I know who I am. I know about the ones that I've coached. I've known about the ones who I've encountered. And the many that I've encountered, actually, maybe it's because you attract a lot of who you are. So I would say all the ones that I've encountered were wives and are wives who were not coming in to break up anything, weren't coming to take over anything, wanted companionship, wanted love, compassion, security, to do things in a halal way, all of that. All of that. And then people are like, well, why can't they just find their own man? Well, for one, she has a right to be married to whoever she is married to. So if this man happens to be married, but he says, you know what, I'm going to marry you as well, she has that right. So if the guy she is interested in checks the boxes of what she sees as a husband, as a leader for her family, as a potential mate, all these things like that, he checks these boxes. Why should she go and try to look for somebody else who is not married? Or I ain't gonna say not married, because that's true, not married. That ain't, I don't need to do the air quotes. I don't know why I did that. Why should she look for someone who's not married if the guy who she is attracted to, meaning he's attractive, checks these boxes, and is willing to marry her? Why should she go look for someone else? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Because her rights does not matter. It doesn't matter if he's okay with it and she's okay with it. If the other wife is not okay with it, or if the other wife is okay with it and society is not okay with it, because they're going to try to make her look bad as well as the first wife look bad or the initial wife look bad. So it's a societal thing now where what society says is more important than what Allah allows, what the Most High, what our Creator allows. So we obey the creation and disobey the Creator, or we, in order to please the creation, we are scoffing or turning our nose up, or as one person said, be repulsed by what the Creator has allowed. And that's really interesting to me. So the thing is, it's about our iman, it's about our faith, it's about our belief. And it's really hard to say that you believe in, and I'm speaking to Muslims right now, and my Muslim sisters right now. It's really hard to say that you have faith and trust and you believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and all that there is. I am Muslim. I took my shahada. I say, La ilaha illallah. There is no God but Allah. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his final messenger, final prophet. You say these things. You say it with your tongue. Do you feel it in your heart? Because if you say these things with your tongue, and then in the same breath, or with the same breath that you use to speak those words, when you praying 5 times a day or whatever the case may be, in the same terms say, I'm repulsed by polygyny. I don't like it. It's one thing, and I know another number of people say, you know what, it's one thing to not like something for you or not want it for you. But then when you have a problem with it for other people and you disrespect them and disregard, their happiness, or you question their happiness because it's not what you think it should be, then that says more about you than it does about them. So of course we get a lot of different comments back and forth on our channel about that. I've had some comments, and I'm going to address one that I can think off the top of my head, because this video has to deal with having that right to marry a married man in Islam. That was said, well, how, I just can't understand that you wouldn't think that she would be hurt. That I don't understand that, how could you marry somebody who's already married? Or how would you feel if he married somebody else and he was married to you? And all these things. I discussed that kind of earlier in the video, as far as, how would you feel about, I don't know at the time. Allah is a changer of hearts. But right now, sitting right here speaking to you in this video, it wouldn't bother me. I know that his marriage to her is his marriage to her. She ain't marrying me, but I would really love for to be compatible with what's going on in our family dynamic, meaning that we work together as a team. So we don't have this separate, like, you over here, you over there, you deal with that and I deal with this, and we don't talk to each other type of thing. You know, the cattiness, the pettiness, the different things like that. And I know that's going to hit people a little hard because they're like, why do that, seeing that I have to be petty if I don't want to get to know my co-wife? Because if it was anybody else, what's the reason why you're not trying to get to know your co-wife? Just because she's married to the man that you married to you? Then that is petty. Now, if it's some other reason, if she's being shysty or dirty and everything like that, then I don't know. That's something that you may want for the betterment of the family and the betterment of the legacy. You may want to discuss with your husband if that's some true stuff behind there. But if it's just because she married him, then yeah, being real is petty. And because if it was anybody else that wasn't married to your husband, would you have a problem with getting to know them? You know, our husbands are not our property. You know, so we have to, our faith has to be better than that. And yes, you know, the mothers of the believers, our mothers, you know, the ones who were married to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, yes, there was some jealousies and things like that, but it wasn't these things against being married to the same man. The jealousies come from other stuff. We're women, not even just women, just everybody has a jealousy in some way, shape, or form. I deal with jealousies with my children sometimes, and the majority of them are boys. You know, that's life. We just got to know how to deal with it. And that's us working on ourselves. So to take a right away from a person because you don't like that, you know, it may be a right that they want to exercise with your husband. Like I stated before, it says a lot more about you than it does about the other person. And you may not want it. That's understandable. People say, who wants to share their man? Who wants to see? The thing is, when we stop being so possessive about it, and that doesn't mean that you don't love him, and that doesn't mean that I don't love, you know, our husband just because I'm stating what I'm stating right now. Because I'm like, I have my jealousies, you know, ups and downs and different things like that. But I understand nature. I understand polygyny. I understand the beauty of it, and I do understand seriously wanting for my sister what I want for myself. I really do. And yes, everybody is not on that page. Everybody's not on that level. So when a person, and I'm not saying I'm better than anybody or this and that and the other, what I'm stating is that I'm different. So when a person comes at me in the comments for some of the videos that they haven't seen, and from the ones that they have seen, to say, well, I don't understand how you wouldn't have known or how you wouldn't have thought that, because for me, I wouldn't have took it like that. It wouldn't have been a problem for me. Why it wouldn't have been a problem for me? Because I understand what polygyny is. Like I said, now if it's not polygyny that I would have an issue with, it'll probably be the person, if the person is kind of on the sneaky, shysty, crazy side, you know. But that's about a person being a person. That's about the person, not the institution of marriage. So anywho, I hope you guys got some good information. I hope you guys understand what I'm getting at here. My thing is, like I stated before, it's about being accountable. It's about looking at things in a bigger picture and not just this small little viewfinder of what is just our own feelings or our own emotions. Not saying that they're not important. I get it. I understand it. I have emotions too. I'm not, I'm not some hardcore, you know, person that's like, but I do understand truth being truth. And I stated before, I don't care how I feel, even how I feel about stuff. If it's the truth, then so be it. I could just be pouting and upset all over the place because I've done that. So someone probably talked to me about my attitude. Someone probably talked to me about something that I misunderstood and I did something wrong or whatever the case may be. And I'm a very sensitive person and I take things kind of personal. I'm getting better at that because I've taken a lot of the comments that I've seen against me marrying an already married man and not talking to my co-wife first and these different things like that. My co-wife said it herself. She said, it was not your job to come to me. But that's something y'all got to hear from her, because y'all hear it from me and it don't matter. Just saying. So the thing is that I want you guys to understand that we have to be open and honest with ourselves. And being open and honest with ourselves is understanding that we may not always like the truth, but that doesn't change what it is. It is not up to us to take anybody's rights away from them. And someone marrying a person that you are already married to does not take your rights away, because you're still married to that person. And you still will have your rights as a wife. But when you deny someone else the opportunity, then you are taking their rights away. So hope you guys, again, like I stated before, got some good information from it. I told you guys it was going to be controversial. I know a lot of you may not like what I'm saying in this video, but it has to be said. So, and if anybody's going to say it, I guess I'll, do it and take the brunt of, the heat from those who are already thinking, take the heat away from those who are already thinking what I already said. So anyway, if you guys want some assistance in moving forward in your polygynous marriage, make sure you follow us and go to follow us on our social media channels. Definitely watch some of our videos on YouTube. Also, make sure you are a part of our OPR community, where you have like-minded individuals. If you're having issues, challenges, if you want some tips, or you even want to give some advice to some people that may be needing of some wonderful advice, definitely join us in our troll-free zone, our troll-free community. See, these videos are going out to the public, but it also goes into our community. But we also have special things that go out to the community that can't go on social media. And we don't have to worry about people that's just really judgmental and haters and all these different things in that group. So make sure you check it out at lprcommunity.com. And again, like I said, follow us on our social medias. Everything, our social media channels, everything is in the description. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And I actually do look forward to seeing your comments, because I know this one was a doozy. So make sure you are growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, and connecting on a higher level every single day. It's Coach Nyla. Inshallah, I'll see you in the next one. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.
We are also the authors of the new ebook, The Polygamy Roadmap. 2 different roadmaps, one specifically for men and the other
for women.
Naturally. So no matter where somebody is in their journey, whether they're considering it and what's required, especially men I'm talking to, I share the 5 requisites on really what it takes to build a healthy, successful polygynous family unit. So with that being said, make sure if you're a man and if you're serious, not just curious, you take action and get it today.
And in the women's polygamy roadmap, we talk about the different feelings that women might go through, with emotions of fear, challenge, betrayal, jealousy.
Yes, and we give you some good insight, as well as tips, anecdotes, as well as some of our stories of struggle in the polygamy roadmap too for women. And you will find out really how to have a type of confidence in yourself after reading this. I'm truly, truly in the mindset that you would anyway.
Indeed. So do what you got to do. And that means go to polygamyroadmap.com, grab your copy. We look forward to you benefiting from it and joining us in our private community. With that being said, Assalamu alaikum.
Peace.